Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to the ARMA All Stars Invitational Tournament. Veggie here with you once again tonight. We'll be joined by Jaffa when he is able, once again. At least that's what he told me. Yes. And we will be getting underway here momentarily. Before we start, however, I will once again quickly go through the format since we do know actually what's going on this time. So tonight we have two matches, two Hanjans, between the top 8 players from last night's group stages. So we will have New Set, Chewy, and Unwise Owl on table 1, and Abraham, Kyril, Ekosok, and Lost My ID on table 2, and that would be Jaffa, I assume.
Hello.
Hello. Just started. So I think what we best here, we watch one table, first game, second table, the second game, I think.
Sure. that sounds sensible.
It means we don't get to watch like the combined score sort of situation, but yeah. That way we at least get all the players on. And yeah, so 2 matches tonight, and then we will have the finals next week, and that will have the ARMA 2023 spot up for grabs. Which again,
I do wonder, like, if someone say from the UK gets it.
Well, it's an open, so you're free to come play. In the Australian Open, obviously. So it's up to you. If you win it, you're free to fly here from wherever you happen to be and play.
You got like a free spot.
Yeah.
Way to cover your flights, though.
Yeah. Well, I was saying this at the start of the last stream, but in the 2019 Open, we had the WRC spot up for grabs. So I'm not too sure what's going on this year, but I imagine something would be interesting to be up for play in the Open.
I think alright. I mean, like, if you weren't going to represent Australia, you might not get the WRC spot.
Oh yeah, I'm not too sure. Hey,
Get someone from like the US or UK.
surely that it's a free agent, right? Like we just sign them temporarily as an Aussie, and
is that kosher? Is that
yeah,
just get like a Japanese pro to rep Australia.
yeah. We'll sign Sasaki for a weekend.
Give him an honorary Australian citizenship or something.
Alrighty. But yeah, so we have the Open. So yeah, again, just if you guys haven't seen that already, check out the announcements tab in the ARMA Discord. And we also have the census, and anyone who is interested, please fill that out. Even if you're not interested, it helps us out as well. Even if you're not from Australia. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mathis was from France, and he was staying here studying for a while. And he made it to the finals in 2019. And I think he also had a Japanese player as well, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's okay as long as like you've lived in Australia for at least a little bit. You're basically Australian at that point, so we'll let you go to WRC.
All right, Jaffa, which game would you like to watch first? Table 1?
Sure. Table 1.
Sure. Alrighty. So what we will do, I'll make note of the scores, but simply so that no one feels like they might gain an edge by opening up the stream and seeing the score situation laid out in front of them. I will refrain from throwing it up on stream, but we will keep track of the situation. We just won't track it down to the point.
I mean,
I think that discourages fairness, more or less.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, we will be watching with a 5-minute delay anyway. So
yeah.
If the players want to keep track of, I guess, the upper tables, I don't know if it's relevant because I think once again it's top 2 players from after 2 games from.
Yeah, it's not so much for the tables, but if someone's like, oh, I don't know the scores, and then they can just open up the screen and see the scores of their table or something like that, That way the onus is on them, not me just broadcasting them out.
Well, we didn't know the rules like yesterday, so
Not
I
last
don't know
year, yeah.
if the players would want to listen to us.
Look, we've got a handle on it this evening.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, we got
I've
two
just been playing
Hunchons.
Zelda today.
Are you be playing Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, it's been out for a while, but I haven't had that much time to play it. Got 1 more minute.
Yeah, we'll be getting underway here very quickly.
I think. Is it like I remember like Unwise Owl was like commenting before like Unwise Owl and Aesthete were
Yeah,
up against each other despite being on the same team.
yeah, we have two Ichi Fingers players here. We have Chui, who was playing for Crimson Wanderers, and Nguyen was playing for Urasan, but better, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Then on the other table with Abraham for Ichi Fingers Kyril, and Lost My ID for both Junkin Sumo and Junkin Run respectively. Don't remember which one, and then Ekusok for.
I think Abraham was Itsuanko.
So did I say Itsuanko? I'm going to say Itsuanko.
Yeah.
Look at this starting hand here for Unwise Owl, discontinuing the flow.
The scores don't carry over, so.
No.
Oh wait, what
Absolutely
Nguyen?
awkward. And yeah,
Nguyen with
well.
the Hakuka. Was that that might have been a misclick? I think.
Yeah, starting with the pair of Haku, you'd think you'd keep it here. Chewy also starting with
Yeah.
a Ton Anko.
Ton Anko. Do they want to? Okay, I was gonna say like, it's a bit awkward to sort of commit to like say a Honitsu there. I think you just kind of go for basically a fast hand. I think.
Yeah, and
I think you kind of like have to call all those shapes.
Yeah, for sure. It's a bit awkward with what you have here unless you draw everything you need pretty quickly. And yeah, I think you're going to want to speed up based on how things are going. Otherwise, Al has this very fast hand. It sets Ishan 10, but would lose the Yakadora, but has two other Dora to compensate for it.
That being said, Aesthete is also Ishan 10. They have Chun Pon, and they have two Dora and the floating red 5. It's not clear exactly how they will fit that in. Hopefully they can connect to it and maybe cut like a 4-man pair or something. That's Tempai for Unwise Owl though. Ooh,
That's a really
this is
awkward.
tough. Oh, that's such a strong discard.
Half CG?
So yeah, but it seems like floating 5, so obviously didn't fit into their hands. There's a good chance they'll deal it with the 4-man here. Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, I think don't think there's any way to avoid that when the 3-man.
No, not for a set. No, some Itchy Richie Fingers and Itchy Richie Fingers violence here. Durin was also in danger with a hanging 7-man, but luckily was saved by S feet.
Yeah, I think. You think normally it was like a 4-7 kind of Riadman weight. Like it's a 2-sided weight, but it's a pretty tough one to get since those tiles could be easily used. It just so happened that there was just happened to float around in people's hands and just spelled doom for them.
Yep. So we go. Anwa's out taking the first blood here, looking to maintain their lead throughout a lot of these Hanjons who've had for the Team League and the All-Stars. And none of his hands are specifically great right now. Chuy's is pretty quick with the Hatsu pair, perhaps, if you can open with that.
Yeah, we've got like another situation where we've got like a lot of people have like vertical hands, like lots of pairs and even Ankos. I wouldn't be surprised if people start, especially now, like switching to Cheetoy and stuff. I think Nguyen just got their 5th pair, so they're Ishantin for Cheetoy.
5 pairs for Nguyen, 2 pairs and an Anko for Unwise Owl. A set's hand is fairly normal, but
really good draw for Chewy there. I think that 8-man Kanchan. They can just pawn for Tempai, but Nguyen quickly gets into Tempai for that Cheetoy you mentioned before. Cheetoy, Richi, waiting on the 8-man, all in people's hands, so there's none left.
Yeah, so Chewy's should be safe.
Chewy might. 9-man is not Gimbutsu. I think that's like a straight push. They keep their Ishan 10. I think Aesthete is in danger of dealing in once again because that 8 mana is floating in their
Yes.
hand, and if they run out of safe tiles or if they get into a situation where they want to push. But Chewy also gets a Tempai waiting on the 5/8 pin for Ricci only.
8
5/8
pins? Yeah.
5 pin 1 left, which is the Akka 5 pin. 8 pin 3 left. So it's 4 versus 0 at this point.
Unless someone decides to discard an 8 man. Maybe they get
Yeah,
Carbade off or something, but
I think
I don't think you could
this
push his
is
hand as a seat.
Sweet. I was gonna say like she had safe tiles. I can't remember if 5 was safe against both players. I know the 4 definitely was.
5 so was just safe.
Yeah.
It was passed
I
right
know it
after
was.
the Ricci.
I know. Oh, okay. Yeah. He moves on to East 2. Chewy picks up that with a Rishi Sumo.
Yep, just the Ricci Sumo for Chewy, but it's always nice to get the ball rolling, get your first win out of the way.
Yeah.
And again, these hands are all pretty average, but a seat's got a potential Hanitsu brewing.
Ooh, yeah. Like, I think even if you open, you're guaranteed hit to, well, not guaranteed, but likely to get hit to draw 1.
On Wezal's Ishan 10 with a potential Itsu if they want to swap to it, when I imagine they will now.
Yep. So they're, gosh,
So,
they need that 9 man, which is still 3 in the wall, I think.
yeah, it looks that way.
Ooh, that's a really good draw for us, and I think you just okay, I see. They keep their Ishan 10. The 9 so could be used for Honitsu, but it's also like a little bit not a little bit redundant in the sense that you can still accept the 4/8 so, but
Yeah, to like really make use of it, you need some very specific draws.
yeah.
And you ideally want well, like they say would have been nice, but as it is, it fits in. This is
Do they
Tenpai.
well do they take their Tempai or do they try to go back into Ishan 10 for Honitsu, and they do. So
Yeah.
they could have taken like the Tempai waiting on the 7 pin Chun for Ricci only, possibly Chun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tempai for Unwise Owl, not the Itsu.
Damaten.
So they Damaten the pin for only, hoping maybe to pick up the 9 man if they can get it, or
Yeah,
some
9
other
man or the
upgrade like
free
an
6.
Akka.
That obviously is not
Yeah,
Tenpai.
so Aesthete picks up one of the 6-os, but to help their Honitsu, they keep it. Chewy, in the meantime, gets a Tempai waiting on the door too, so once again, Aesthete is at risk of dealing in. Um, like now,
Yeah,
either
this.
of their Tempais
I
will make him
think.
deal into someone,
I think
both on the Ipatsu.
you can't double the parts, surely. Not even on your dealership. You've got 2 Han Chans, let this one go. You got another dealer later in the hand.
Oh, very, very disciplined.
If it maybe wasn't double Ipatsu, but yeah, there's.
Yeah, I feel like if it wasn't a Patsu, they would just shove it. But when it's like two Apatsu chances, and you have to cut the door off, or like a double Mizuji 6, so it's so hard. So
Yeah, very
see,
disciplined.
seeing the 3 so 6 so deal and thinking, okay, but when they check later, they'll see two
Yeah.
so would have also dealt into the Ipatsu on Shui.
I think it was Furiton SBT. If you do take the weight.
The 369, yeah, the
Yeah, yeah.
369. So shape would be Furuten. You could wait Dorotanki, but yeah, again, you're cutting double Misuji into two Richis.
Alright, so yeah, he's free. Unwise out with another Honitsu hand here.
Yeah, Hanitsu Yakuhai Dora 1, easy Mangan.
Yep.
Basically just given for free. Ishan 10 for it, but not the best Ishan 10. Needs to pair up the Souths or
Hmm.
pawn the 6 though, which is the door indicator.
His feet going for perhaps a toy needs one more block. Otherwise, might just end up with a an east only, maybe a Dora.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to call the one pin, which will come out soon from Unwise Owl, but then they're still missing. Well,
Yeah,
they don't have to go for Toy Toy,
they
but
don't have to. No, you can always back out.
yeah. And I think with that draw that connects to the Dora, I think they'll
Yeah,
just have to kind of settle for a Ton Dora one unless they can pair up the Dora.
yeah. Unless you find another seventh so here, I think you're just gonna call any six so that comes from Unwise Owl or
Oh.
as it
Ewan,
is one left
yeah,
in
who's
more.
been kind of like you've kind of like ignored, I guess, for this so far, has sped up the hand by calling, trying to force that Tanya, move
Yeah,
the dealership along.
they had three calls on the table, so probably feeling a little bit of pressure here to open. He's
Yeah,
Shanten now.
they are no, they're Tenpai
Oh,
now,
it is Senpai no, on the free man. Yep.
waiting on 3-man, yeah.
A
But
set's
there are,
Senpai and a six so, and they are free.
yep,
Ooh,
take the weight upgrade. I imagine they will.
a set yeah. Now on the 6-9, which is a lot better.
Yeah, Chewy is also waiting on the 6, so had the option to, I guess, switch to a 4 so. Chooses not to keep the door in their hand.
This will
Oh,
come out unless Newen's very clever.
no, nah. I think it's a hard read.
It's a very tough read, I think, to throw to not throw the 9 soda.
Yeah. But that's just, I think that was just 2k to a seat there.
Yeah, just Dondora 1.
Yeah.
For a seat. And takes us into our East 4. So Newen with their first dealership league game, as you said, sort of been a bit forgotten so far this Hanjam. There's just been so much activity.
Yes. Sometimes it be like that. You just have to keep your head down until you get your chance. And they might get their chance now. They've got a pretty nice Pinfu, maybe Pinfu shape going.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if especially if they connect the 7 pin to just cut the Shah, or even like beforehand. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Forcing that Tanya Win, forcing the Pinfu. Well, not. We'll see for Pinfu, but
At least making the commitment here. I like this as well.
yeah. Aesthetic drawing the 6-0 Unco will, if they open it, will probably just be for Tanya only. Unwise Owl has 2 Dora, but their shapes are still
Yeah.
pretty tough to fill. In the meantime, Chewy is just kind of drawing all these middle tiles.
Ishanten
Chitoy
for
is
Chitoy,
Shanten,
yeah.
yeah. They could easily switch to like a normal hand as well if they just complete any of the other shapes, but
Chewy has the choice here as well. Like, you don't even need to keep this Dora tile. If you throw it, you end up getting Tanya, which obviously is a little less value, but
but if you pair it up,
but if you pair it up, it's even better. Yeah, this has that flexibility. We'll see.
That's Tenpai. They can either take the Sharpo or the Tanyao. So they pick this Tanyao and they Dharma 10. I guess hoping for a slight weight improvement. There's or just maybe not willing to risk the Ricci in case something goes awry. But I think there's not so many weight improvements. Like your Furita on the 2-man discard, so 3-man doesn't help. And also, if you draw the 2-so, you'd be Furitan because of the 1-so discard.
Yeah, this is a free man, as you said.
That's a 3-man. And they take the Furitan Ryandman. So there are still 4 in the wall, which they will have to sumo themselves.
See,
3 left in the wall.
His hand still could have gone to like a cheat toy Tanyao, or you could have taken, the other. This could have kept the Tenpai, as you said.
It will be still Tanyao, and the weight. I don't. All right, I don't know the maths with this. I don't know if like a Furitan Ryunman is better than a non-Furitan Shabo, like on simple tiles. But they still have 3 tiles left in the wall. In the meantime, Aesthete gets to Tenpai on Urichi Nomi, waiting on the 7-pin, 9-pin.
Yeah, Richinomi Would need Ura for any sort of value increase on this hand.
Oh,
Or or Sumo, obviously.
Ewan can pawn this. I think this is what this pause is to kind of advance their hand or get to Tempai.
Yeah, Adazuke on the
Um,
4-man here.
Waiting on the 4-man, which just got drawn by Unwise Owl. It is Atazuki, so they will have to win on the 4-man.
Unwise
Which
Owl doesn't have a lot of good choices here.
one left in the wall.
Find 7, so...
8-pin is Suji.
5-pin, 2-pin.
But they decided not to push it.
Same
Okay.
problem. You can maybe throw 4-man here. 3-pin, push, keeping the...
So yeah, so Newen had Tempai, which they gave up. Didn't
Yeah.
want to push the 8-pin. Maybe wondering like where the other pins you are. Even though it is Suji, I guess you're still at risk of a Kanchan or a Shabo wait. But it does mean Chui does sumo that.
Yeah. Sumo's the Furids and Ryamen.
Yeah. I think there was only like at that point there was like 1 or 2.
We were very low in the count. I think there was like 6 tiles left in the wall or something.
Yeah. Otherwise, Unwise our South 1 dealer, starting with also a really nice Tanyao hand.
Yeah. This can pretty much be locked in at minimum. Wow,
Ooh,
6 months. Amazing
That's
draw.
an amazing draw. Oh, okay. They give up the Class A Riyadman to try and to force the Tanyao. And use the Akka 5, so
I don't hate that.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like the standard cut is usually like the 7-pin or 8-pin.
Yeah.
But I guess there is a Sashaku chance if they're super greedy, which they usually might get rewarded for now. Much wider Ashanti now. Oh,
sad. That's Tempai. You want to throw the Akka 5, so.
yeah, but it is like a guaranteed pin for Ipe Go chance, Tanyao chance, waiting on the 6-9 pin. 4 left, or sorry, 3 left. Only one 6-pin left, which is their Takame. So the highest scoring hand.
Yeah, the 9-pin Ron would be quite sad.
Well, you just take it.
You take it because you're dealer, you can go again, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact this hand could have been, as you said, like sort of Richi Pin Fusan Choku.
Tanyao, yeah. Akka.
Like, yeah.
I feel like, yeah, if you just offered like a good weight as dealer, you just have to
You
kind of take
it.
it.
Yeah, you always take it.
Estate. While Unwise Owl was quickly into Tempai, Estate starting with a pair of the Dora, which is also their double win. So if they pond it, they would get basically a guaranteed Mungan, but with the dealer Richi on the table, they have to kind of play around it. They break their Ryunman and gets punished. Basically immediately. But yeah, I think what can they do now?
I think it's quite difficult because typically if someone's throwing an Akka on a Richi, normally you'd expect them to have some sort of Tempai around that. But when it's early like this, it's not necessarily.
When it's early, I don't know if you can how much
you can't. Yeah, you
but
can't.
Like
much.
For them, it's like really hard for them to push until they can like get the south locked in basically, because otherwise like your Atazuke waiting on like a Dora.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's not just a Dora; it's like the round wind as well.
Yeah, so no one at this stage, like none of the other players will cut it. So you're basically hoping that either Unwise Owl draws it and lets you call it, or you draw it yourself. In the meantime, who knows how many like Bisuji you'll be pushing in to try and get to Tempai. Speaking of which, no one gets to Tempai. Pinfu Nomi waiting on the 5.
It's not even
5.
Pinfu, is it?
Sorry, no, it's not Pinfu. It's just Richi Nomi waiting on the 5 pin.
Yeah, but he hasn't reached, so Damaten no Yaku right now.
Damaten no Yaku. 1 pin is tough.
There's one
No
Pinzu.
Pinzu
Yeah,
have been like cut, but they keep their tempi.
just push it.
Uh, a seat off at the door. They have to take this.
You can. Oh, 7 pin comes. Nice.
7 pin. They push their monk gun. Uh, double Nandora 4 Hanuman. Sorry. Oh, but it does mean that Unwise Al Sumo is their pin
Yeah.
through.
All the 3 pins were in hands as well. Obviously, since no
Yeah,
Pinzu had been discarded.
yeah. But you never know.
You never know. You never know. You gotta try. That's a good win for Unwise Aldo. Retains
Yeah.
the dealership here. At least you're able to sumo it as well. Get a little bit more value out of that. And
Oh, with pin fu, it's kind of funny. You get an extra harm, but you lose the fu when it's like.
yeah.
But I think did I hit Ura as well, or maybe not.
I don't think they hit Ura. No.
Yeah.
I think we would have
But
seen a more substantial
otherwise,
jump score.
another really good hand.
Yeah. This Summon Sun Shape in the Sozu is great. We've got Akadora. We've got Dora in the Banzu.
Yeah.
This is.
Oh my god, that
He draws so well. He
Ishan
really
10.
does.
Yeah, there's a chance they can get like a kind of awkward tempi, but at the moment they're doing really well. But a seat once again starting with double non. Dora can accept another Dora. They are six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they are 6 blocks, so you will need to cut something to advance.
Ooh.
I wonder, do they cut their bad shape? Dora accepting bad shape?
Yeah,
I think you have to,
you
right?
do. I think you do. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is shot 10 as well. Unwise Out also gets his shot slightly improved Ishan 10, but it will mean they may lose Tanya. So
The
they just
last
move back 9
4-mon draw here is potentially big for Unwise Al if they pull it. It's...
No.
I think you. No, you can't. You've Puritan.
Okay.
Does.
So they keep their. It's not Tempai, but
No.
it's like there's a risk of Furuten if they say draw around the Sozu. Oh,
Works out.
saved. Yeah. So they get kind of like one of the best Tempais they can get. So 3, 6, 9. So Sanmin Chan. On the 3 so 6 so they get Tanyao. On the 3 so they also get Sanshoku.
Sanshoku, yeah, which would be
So
Richi,
massive
Sanshoku,
hand.
Dora, 2 Tanyao,
Yeah.
Hanuman, right?
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking for as a 3 so's. Praise be.
2 left.
In the wall. Nilwen gets a Tempai.
Choosing a
Dorotunki, I
Tanki
guess.
Here. Yeah.
They have to pick a Tunky. Why not Dorotunki? 2 left in the wall.
Not bad, all things considered for Dora Tanki, and you got a Richi on the table too.
Yeah, he knows Unwise Al can't fold, and you know how it goes. Dorotunki always beats Sunman Chan.
I do love me a Dora Tanki. Oh, that's huge!
Oh, never mind. Unwise Al sumoing his Tuckermet. Massive hand. That's Baimon.
Baimon with the Aura.
Hits the Ura, doesn't need it.
Oh, no,
But
yeah,
that's
doesn't
8k all.
Yep, so this is a win for Unwise Owl, unless things go catastrophically wrong, which obviously they can. Look at Newin's starting hand here.
There's still everyone still has a dealership.
Yeah.
But I don't imagine Unwise Owl will.
Yeah, again, just based on
hold on.
Newin's hand here is really nice.
Newin.
Only one other Hatsu drawn right now. There it goes from a set.
There's still 2 left.
What I was going to say, Unwise Owl, we have seen them play a little bit more cautiously once they do get ahead. Like, would say that normally they would keep these honor tiles, or, well, sure, Sang's still on the table.
Shows. That's devastating.
Yep.
But
That hurts to see. But, yeah. Unwise Owl does tend to play a little bit more cautiously with these leads, as we saw from the team league, but he does seem to be going a little bit more offensively minded here.
I think like they're in a position I think where you can just like there's no reason to just like fold as dealer even if you're so far ahead because like the points do like you never know how the next game goes, right? So if you can get points now. Why not? But I think now that it's getting into row 2, we'll see how they play now. See the new one has Pond, and they cut their Dora first turn.
The commit, we like it. You don't need Dora when you have Daisangan.
When you have Chanta, yeah.
Or Chanta now, yeah.
Chanta. Yeah, I think there's one more Hatsu left for the Shosangen.
Yeah, this
Or
could be...
could they have kept the South for a Suiso? Is the real question.
that's
Okay,
a tough ask.
it doesn't matter anymore. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Rather than settling for that like kind of Chanta or even just like Yakuhai two-handed, like going for at least the Honitsu,
yeah.
possibly the Honitsu and Chanta and Shosangen.
Senpai for a set.
Sanshoku
Dora
Dora 2, not bad. Seeing 2 open hands, I wonder sorry, that wasn't a Tenpai for us.
Oh, it isn't Senpai. No, not quite.
No, they still need to.
There it is.
Ooh!
So one Hatsu, one... No, both Wests are still alive. Wow.
One West out.
No. I thought my eyes didn't lie to me.
No.
This is a interesting hand for Chewy as well.
Khan for Chewy gives them 2 Dora. Will they pond to take Tenpai now that their hand is a Mongun?
I think you probably should. Yeah.
So, waiting on the 3 Mon. There's only one left in the wall. Another Khan.
Is the other 5-pin left? It
Two-
is. No, it's not.
2-pin is a new Dora. All in the wall except for the Dora indicator.
Yeah,
Does Chewy switch to Toy Toy?
you might as well.
I mean, you're waiting for
Doesn't.
the Dora anyway. Oh, they decide not to. Were they Furiton? Or
Maybe,
was the wait
no,
just
there's no
really bad?
Furids, and maybe just reading that over doors are taking 7, so still is safe for now. But it doesn't.
Oh, they
No.
fold. They don't
Yeah.
want to cut Sozu 7th. So well, okay, maybe reading the Sanshiko from a seat, I guess. And with all those cards in the Dora, like
It's a bit
table, you don't
spooky.
need a bit more. You don't need that much to get more value. Yeah.
2-pin also doesn't look great here.
No.
Dora push. That'll be
Dora-
Tenpai for a set.
3-pin. Oh, yeah. So, well, Ewan clearing the way for a Chewy to like cut his tiles.
Ewan gets Haitei, Sumo, Shosangen, Honitsu. No! They're both dead walls.
No. Yeah, well, 6-0 is safe, but Dead Wall swallows up the last one. So Seat and Ewan, both Tenpai. Unwise Owl passes his dealership along without having to pay all your cavalry. Gets off scot-free, I think, all things considered.
So we go into South 2. So Unwise Owl's last dealership is done. Has a 60,000 essentially points here to play with.
Well, you know, if someone else goes on like a dealer rampage,
Chewy's still pretty healthy here.
Chewy's got a healthy points, but like everyone still has a dealership.
Yeah, for sure. I'm good at saying for Unwise Owl. Jesus Christ.
But I think Ewan pawns the Chun, just moving the rounds along. I think their hand won't be particularly expensive unless they
No, this might
they
find
draw
a way
like
to,
a crazy like last time, but
they probably needs to find a way to get the Toy, and then maybe have a little bit more value to Toy, maybe a Hatsu if you find it.
yeah,
Slow
I think
down to
they're happy
Shao.
to just take any win at the
Yeah.
moment though.
Which, probably just ends up
Moving the
June.
dealership off one of your rivals.
Yes.
Unwise Owl, are they
2 Unko
yeah,
for
Ishan
now.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ishan 10. Still not quite Ishan 10 for Suanko, but
Mm-hmm. Tenpai.
Tenpai for Newen, 5-8 pin. Just Chun. Could
Tenpai
switch
for
to
Toy, yeah.
Toy, which they do. going for the
Three
Toy
left.
Toy Chun for the they missed the 8-pin, but this hand is a bit more valuable.
This is a fair bit more value. I don't think you'd mind missing the run there.
Unwise Owl has the option to call for Tenpai. Does call. I think they hesitated, I guess, thinking to see if they could squeeze out another Yakuman.
Yeah,
Super greedy.
their weight is dead unless
Their
for
weight is
somehow a
dead.
6-0 comes out. Look at
Yeah,
Duan's entire hand lit up here. Love to see that.
yeah. I don't. I can't imagine Ewan cutting that 6-0 since they already rejected the rearmament.
No, the free pins. Yeah. Yeah, no, this should be locked for Nguyen.
Is
Otherwise,
that
Al can obviously swap.
is Shanten for a speed? So the 8-mod discard is a little bit awkward since they will be free 10 if they wait on it, but never mind because Chui deals into Nguyen's Toy Toy.
Yeah. And pretty much exactly what you wanted for Nguyen.
Yeah, so in Nguyen, they get to pass the dealership off one of their rivals. They get to hit the other rival. Um, I mean, they haven't been able to touch Unwise out, but at this point, you might have to give up on this, at least for this game. So
I mean, yeah, you've got the last dealership. There's no point really worrying about it till then, I don't think. Unless
no,
you
yeah,
wake up with a knockout hound like a Chanta Shosung and Honitsu. But yeah. I mean, even that hand, it closes the gap, but not overly significantly.
no, it's they're gonna need a few of those. A seat going for Honitsu Hatsu, I guess.
Honitsu Hatsu holding on to their seat win for now as well.
Yeah. Ishanten. Bit of an awkward Ishanten, but a
Yeah.
little improved. There is a chance they can also shift it to Chanta, but not
Chanta,
with that
yeah.
call. So they are Tenpai. Honitsu Takeme Hatsu for 5-2, I think, with these calls.
Yes.
Otherwise, ooh,
Otherwise, Al Tutora. An
that's
open hit from Nguyen, probably.
that's is that it's not. It could be Toy Toy, it could be Chinitsu.
Yeah.
Ooh, Unwise out drawing the Hatsu. Um,
Souls it away.
Probably suspects that a seat is Tenpai already with 3 calls and Sozu Overflow. Never mind, a sumo, just for it to
Yasuno.
not me.
Yep.
Ends Chewy's last dealership, so now into South 4. I think
Alright, so
for
yeah.
yeah, for everyone else, I think they're just happy to try and maintain their position to climb a bit.
Yeah, so seconds within reach for all of these guys. Less than a Mangan in points between 4th and 2nd.
Yep.
So it'll be a matter of who can try and get the hand together quickest.
Yeah. For a seat, they need at least a kind of 240 hand to get out of 4th, as in a 240 run from anyone. Obviously direct hit to the dealer or sumo is a bit lowers the score requirement. But the point is that they can't open for just a Tanya only. So unless they can draw, say, like an Aka or find some other value, I think they'll have to stay closed.
But so Chewy here, ideally you want more points, but you're probably also happy to just end it.
Yeah, I think for Chewy,
It's not a great second, but you'll take a second over a third or fourth
Yeah.
for these scores.
you really don't want Nguyen to go on a dealership rampage.
No. And unfortunately, this hand as well for Chewy, kind of difficult to open. Can shift
could.
this towards Tanya.
They could do a Tanya shift if they get offered like or draw a 6-man, or even, or or they could just take the pin food. They still need to kind of
It's a bit far, yeah.
upgrade their 5-man block into like a pinfu shape. Ishante for Unwise Owl, they could just probably reach you without worry.
Yep. I
Just
imagine we probably will
ending
see
the
that.
game with like a commanding first.
Yep. It's important for Unwise as well because it's a two-match sort of thing here. That's is Tempai.
And by Chewy, I think yeah, they
Goes
just take this. Waiting on the Kanchan
can't
4
jump.
pin.
Could have
Two
gone with
stuck
the
in a Seat's
Sharbo.
hand.
But
Yeah. Unwise out, drawing it immediately. Um Ooh, okay. And now Aesthete is also Tenpai waiting on the 407. So because of Chewy's Riichi, this Riichi Nomi might be it will be enough to get out of fourth if they sumo or direct hit Newen.
I don't think it's enough
Um
to reach
they
four,
can't
third,
they
second.
can't they can't if they run Chewy unless they hit Ura, I don't think it's enough.
Nah, you need Ura, I think, to hit Chewy in any situation here.
Yeah, hit Chewy and overtake Newen. Because they're oh,
Yeah,
but
and
with that
Tenpai.
another Rishi stick, I think a stick can run anyone. And if they hit Ura, they also overtake. Was that
That's
enough?
enough. Yeah,
Is it?
it
No,
is.
5-6.
It's enough for second. Yeah. No, it's not.
No, it's not. They had to hit Ura. Yeah, Mammoth is correct, but yeah,
Oh,
that
well, I was looking at the positive score instead of the negative. Yeah, I was like, it's 4K. You know, naturally, it's enough. um. So
no,
yeah.
but because of Newen's Ricci, unfortunately, that gave the seed enough to overtake them,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Nguyen, I could have stayed Dharma. They had a Hatsu pair. Oh, that was Chitoi. Never mind.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's tough because for Newen, like if they just they can't afford to fold either because if they're a no 10, they lose their placement. If a seat sumos, they also like fall down to fourth anyway. But it just so happens that they didn't know that the seat had only a Riichi Nomi, and that Riichi stick made the difference.
Yeah. So going to other matches. So where do we sit? Ekusok first, Abraham second. Kyril first, lost by AD fourth. South free.
Ooh. So the two players in third and fourth have had their last dealership pass, so they can only really, unless they build a big hand now, realistically be fighting between third and fourth between the two of them.
Um. Yeah, you're looking at a situation like yesterday where if you take a third, then you need to get like a strong first and have some other things go your way, or stuff like that. Really, to try and
Well,
get a
we
top
have
two.
we have seen that happen though, so I think like Kyril
Uh,
himself took a fourth, I think, in the first game, but then took like a good first in the second game and got through because of that. But this South three, I think, is likely just going to pass by a Rukoku, except Abraham gets a Tenpai waiting on the 5-8 pin, drawn immediately by Kyril, but otherwise, there's only one 5 pin left. Here's the Aka.
so we do have a bit of backstory info here from SBT. Aestrom was actually winning until the previous hand, in which point there was a Sensei Riichi by Ekusok of a Chitoi Honitsu. Aestrom chased with a Sun Menchan, but lost.
Oh, so there was like a big reversal there.
Yeah. All the 5
Okay.
pins getting scooped here by Cairo.
Yeah, so Abraham's way is dead. Um, Ekusok Tenpai Ashizuke on the Haku, because they are Dama 10. If they 6 pin is Misuji, they push it anyway to keep their Tenpai. They weren't going to like. I can't imagine they would cut the 8 pin to take the free 7 pin Kanchan, since both were Misuji.
Lost
Eight,
my ID just got Tempai as well.
yeah, looks like it. Eight man Misuji
6
6 too
she
much for
folds.
lost my
Yeah.
ID. Yeah, especially on the Hote.
Yeah. Yeah.
In which case, people who were just calling for like Kaiten can suddenly run you. But that does mean that Lost My ID slips below Chiral because of the Tenpai payments. I think Chiral snuck into Tenpai at the end there?
Cairo was
No.
also not Tenpai, no.
Oh, so no, Chiral was always like slightly ahead. So
Yeah, yeah.
so
Cairo
Ekusok and
had a
Abraham.
Haku that they couldn't throw,
Yeah,
and
they couldn't touch.
yeah.
Abraham starting off a some good shapes, some not good shapes, but otherwise a fairly cheap hand.
It's workable, but yeah, not much value for now.
Yeah,
Chooses the Simagiri to East here. Least
yeah.
valuable tile in the hand.
Just a guess wind. Pretty standard.
Everyone's hands are pretty standard here, really.
Yeah.
Echosox isn't too bad. It's got the least honors, but that's
No,
pretty much all it has
Lost My
going for it.
ID's head is pretty awful.
Yeah.
um, they do have Adora.
It's got Dora, it had a pair, and a
That's it.
Rianman in the pin too, and
It is
that's
a
it.
Ryanman, I guess.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think Ekusok might be the fastest unless Abraham paired up their Chun.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, just in terms of
Chiral,
early hands, yeah.
yeah, Chiral is like slowly filling up shapes, but I feel like they're not going to be able to catch up.
It's gonna be rough. A
Yeah.
lot of bad shapes in a lot of people's hands here. So
Lost my
yes,
idea. Ekusok drawing quite well.
yeah, 7 when Airfill's in that shape.
Still one block over. Probably will trim down the upper Pinzu shape, I imagine.
Lost my drawing into the Anka of the Haku now. Still with the
Okay.
West's wind hanging loose.
Yeah, I think like without the West, their hand is struggling to get like value unless they can stay completely closed the whole way.
Yep.
Um. Okay. Abraham cutting the 7-8 pin. Maybe like trying to force a Honitsu.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, yeah, they would have like other like more inefficient shapes, I guess they could cut.
Could cut the 8 so it was a bit superfluous.
Or like the 6-man.
Yeah.
Um back into Ishan 10, but I feel like they may just cut the 6-mans as opposed to taking
I think that is the
10-5.
plan here. Yeah, and
Especially
definitely
with
now
that
have another Caesar.
5-man draw. Is there a reason not to cut 6-man now?
Yeah, so now you just have an extra pair of the 6 months, so
Yeah. In the meantime, Lost My ID
yeah, drew all
drew
the
the
Haku.
4th Haku. Not hasn't Khan just yet. I imagine they'll Khan quite soon. Um, for the extra Fu and the extra Han. Oh no, sorry, not extra Han, but extra draw. Maybe now?
She does play a little bit more reserved, but does Khan.
Yeah, and that Khan really is the draw that she needed.
Yep, completes the Manzu Yaman shape here. Shanten now.
Oh,
Tenpai,
Tenpai for Abraham now with the extra Dora because of the Khan.
Jindora Honitsu.
Putting on the 5-9, so
One of each, including the Arca 5, so.
if Ekusok is unlucky, they may cut the 9, so but Lost My ID
more
is
unlucky.
draws a short straw first and deals in.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Very unfortunate for Lost My ID. Negative influence
Yeah.
now. Last Orasu here. So the goal here, Abraham needs to keep winning unless you can hit Ekasok directly for a decent hand early. 20k behind, bit of a gap here. Third to second is pretty unachievable.
What it's
But not
a
impossible.
Khan? Paimon?
Yeah, so
think
something
so.
like that.
That's a 36k
You might as
swing.
well go for it. Yakuman is easier.
What Sun? Yeah. It's a hard hand to get some by with unless a few people can't.
Lost My D is Mangan behind Chiral.
More than a Mungan.
Yeah, a bit
It
more
gets
than
like
a Mangan.
9.4k. So Mungan Sumo would be enough. Or a direct 5-2.
With this positional play, this two Hanchan format, it's not so much points you always care about, but very much more position.
Uh, it's like because positions are points. Like if you can
Yeah,
get
yeah,
a position that's like 20 points, or even
yes.
like a 40-point swing if it's like a direct rival, which is as
It's
much as a Yakuman, right? More.
yeah, 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 yeah. But moment like like say Kyril doesn't really gain anything here from like
No,
winning a pin free on me.
they are if given a situation where like lost my ID is like Tempai, then they would have to fold. But
It's over.
Ekusok getting a really fast Tempai and Ron Abraham for that win to
With
end this
the
Hanchan.
same with the same weight, the 5 9 Shavo. So yeah, that puts an end to this Hanchan. Ekusok with a strong first, Abraham with a second, Kyril with a third, and Osmadi with a fourth. That will put an end to the first round. They next games will be starting in 5 minutes at 55 past the hour. So we do have a little bit of spare time here. Here is the updated spreadsheet. So we can get this a visual idea for where everything's at. If you want to grab a screenshot of this, feel free.
Chewy, we didn't comment, but Chewy with the plus or minus
Yeah,
0.
Chewy did get plus minus 0 in that Hanchan, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, both Ekusok and Unwise Owl were very strong first. So unless they take really bad
Yeah,
fourth or
that's the
third,
situation we're looking at. Like with Dusty last night, where he had that very decent first, like 50 plus points, 50k plus points,
yeah,
and then took the heavy fourth and barely missed out because of it. So it's doable.
yeah. I think
Mm,
the problem is like yeah, even like a lot of players who were like third or second even like didn't really gain so many points. So you would even if you lose a lot of points, if you're like from this commanding lead, it still might mean you come second because the
mhm.
other players still need like a lot of points to get into that position.
Yes, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
It's tough, and
Yeah.
you really like as a player, you do want to be doing the math and
Yeah.
trying to figure out. Okay, so I'm this much behind. If I get a first, and I get the plus 30, so I need to keep this much of a gap to be overtaking this person, so on and so forth. And you have to be doing it basically each hand
Yeah, you'll
because it
be
updates each after each hand with the score differences.
to get your calculators out and plug in the numbers. But like yeah, but because I think because you just need to come like top two, right? If I remember correctly.
Correct, yeah. Top
Yeah,
two over the course of the
so
two games, yeah.
for someone like Unwise Owl, who's I guess closest competitor, Chewy had like 0 points.
Hmm.
You could even if you lose 60 points in the next game, as long as like still have two people like negative, you're in.
Yeah, yeah.
So like if even if like say Chewy like gets like a massive like hits off you and you're fourth, if you can like keep Newen or a seat in third or like a really like tiny second,
Hmm.
you're still good.
Yeah, so let's just say for simplicity's sake here, like Unwise Owl
Yeah.
goes negative 60, like you said. So you have to be let's assume that's fourth. So
Yep.
that's puts him at negative 5k points, right? Not quite. Yeah, no, negative 5k points, and then you take the minus 30. That gives you the minus 60 points needed to get down to minus 60. So let's say that for simplicity's sake, Chewie wins, and it's like a whatever win. You need a set to go like
Plus
third.
20.
Yeah, so like third plus 20, that's pretty
Third
tough.
plus 20 wouldn't be enough because that would be like zero.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then fourth, and then new in the second with like a positive 30. It's, where are
You
we
do
at? Plus
you
15, and
yeah,
then,
if Chewie is basically in the top two, you're in a good position.
yeah.
That's like if and yeah,
But
it's
you can
it's
see
it's
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 tough.
it's a good position. On the flip side for EcuSoc, like they have like a commanding lead as well, like as
Hmm.
good and if not slightly better than Unwise Owl, because Abraham came second with like a decent second. They're like at a bit more of a risk if they deal into like say the wrong person, especially like say Chiral, who's probably the one after Abraham. If they deal into like Chiral and Chiral gets really strong first, and Ekusok takes like a big fourth, then they have a higher risk of dropping out.
Yes. Um, so yeah, as things stand here, the game will be getting underway very shortly. So I'll quickly pop open this again. And I've gone back on my word again. I am going to pop open the scores and throw them on the stream as well. Just so we have it for hand. And we will jump in to, that's the last game. Don't be fooled. We will jump into the Abraham Akusaklos Mighty Cairo table as well. As soon as they are visible.
I think they just started.
They should have just started, yeah.
There'll be
So
a
I'll
bit of
refresh
it'll
it
be a
again,
5 minute delay, yeah.
There. I'm not 8 o'clock. I'm not silly, right? This is not the game, right? I'm debating myself. No, I mean it has to be. That should have been disappeared. No,
It's just you just got a twin table.
yeah, this is the one. I don't know why. Oh, because it starts at 8 JST.
JST.
Yeah,
Of
JST.
course.
All right. So this
Yeah,
is
we're
good.
playing Japanese mahjong. Japanese Rishi mahjong. Not Australian Eastern mahjong.
Australian Eastern Mahjong. I need to make sure this is big enough for people to see, but it also doesn't cover stuff. Think. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna throw that here. We're gonna slide this over. And there you go. Only the best streaming experience for you guys. Tanyao.
I forgot we had these soundboard things.
Hope that's visible on the stream. I mean, it's a bit difficult to get this bigger without it overlapping shit. It will not.
Well, are you getting open the little score thing?
Yeah.
Ah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
That'll work. And then while I'm here, let me just grab my Steam real quick and put this to off because I already saw it pop open a couple times.
Does that update in real time? Or just
And
has like the score from like the last game?
that's just the last game scores, yeah.
Yeah.
Just slide it over. Professional streamer. I've been streaming for 9 years, by the way. You can tell, right?
I don't know. Like I'll have like people at work like presenting things on like like their laptops,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get things on the projector and stuff, and it never works. They've been doing this for like 40 years. You can't figure it out.
It's too hard. Computers are too hard.
Yeah. You think you figured them out, then you find a way to surprise you.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting. I think what's also interesting is that the seats get shuffled. I like that.
Is
Well, there are certain advantages to playing like South 4 as dealer, right?
yeah.
Because of just the score based play and the positional play with the last dealership, you can sort of just ignore all that and then
Yeah. So Chiral I think is South 4
yeah.
dealer this time. They finished third last game, so
Correct.
they could run up the score if they had a lucky dealership at the end.
Yeah, and Lost My ID in third as well has a. It's a little bit advantageous to have the two people first and second to have the dealerships before you
Yeah.
because it gives them just a little less agency with the outcome down Hanjan.
Hmm.
But yeah, should be starting here within the next couple minutes. I'm excited. I really hope someone from the UK makes it to the finals just so SBT has to sweat a little bit about shipping a trophy to the UK. It's tough. It's tough out there.
There is a trophy for the All-Star competition then?
Yeah, that's what he's mentioned in Discord at least. He said,
Are you sure it's not like just like a little like certificate that you print out? He's made in Microsoft
look,
Paint and stuff.
if someone overseas wins it, it might end up being an MS Paint certificate. I can't confirm or deny for SSBT.
Yeah.
There's no favoritism here. It's just, as Australians, we can't be seen. We can't be seen sending stuff to the UK. It's not what we're about. Alrighty. So we start off here. In the last Hanjan here of the finals, Abraham with the first dealership. This hand has potential, but for now is kind of like you've got this Ipeco shape. You've got maybe Sanshoku somewhere hidden here.
I think it's a very solid hand. If you get lucky draws, it fills out quickly. First to Tenpai, could be waiting on the Dora, or just accept the Dora.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, we do see like both Ekusok and Kyril starting with Yakuhai pairs, so the hands could be quite fast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, lacking the value to kind of like set the pace of the game.
Ekusok's hand here, yeah, with the Chun pair, I think this one will just be fairly cheap. Like if Abraham ends up throwing this Chun soon, I mean, your blocks are pretty set here as Abraham, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel Ekusok's hand here will be limited to Chun only.
Yeah, Chun only. They might pick up an Akka, but still.
Yeah. Lost My ID's hands might end up fairly regular with the Akadora here. Maybe in the Peiko if you can find one in the Pinzu there.
Yeah.
Cairo has the choice to go Honitsu though, but it's a little bit far.
It's not really a Honitsu hand. Like they already kind of have like two shapes, three if you squint for Honitsu.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Ekusaki Ishan-ten. Well, they were Ishan-ten before. They can change their Ishan-ten.
Yeah, this loses your pair, which feels a bit awkward.
Yeah, it's
like
you have like the risk of like not a good weight, but I don't really like that 3-pin cut. I think confirming like the 3-so pair is probably just better. Like, if you look at it, it's kind of like, okay, if this is my pair, I just have like a 1, 2, 3 Pen-chan shape, which is like your weakest block. Alternatively, you cut like
now you have to
you
wait.
just cut the 3-so and just go headless. The Tenpai now, waiting on the 5-pin, just for Chun only.
Aka in the wall.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a great draw for Abraham.
That's a great draw for, yeah.
But same problem here for Abraham, no head.
Oh, okay. Confirming Tanyao. They could have cut the 8-so to confirm the Dora usage, and then they can just use the shapes in the Manzu as their head. Like if they draw like a 6-man, 9-man, they still keep the Pinfu. If they keep like 7-man, you don't have Pinfu, but at least you still have Tenpai.
Backfires.
Or alternatively, yeah, you could have like switched heads with a draw like that, but it means they have to go with that 9-so discard. They would have almost certainly had to cut Dora, which they do, and it gets ponned by Lost My ID.
Khan from Ekusaki and Dora is the 3-man, which elsewhere he has 3, so this is Dora at 7 now.
Dora 7. He's still Ishan 10.
Yeah,
Um,
and might end up losing the Arcadora, but I don't think you mind too much.
Tanya Dora 7 to Dora 6 is sad because it means you go from like a buy. Oh yeah, you go from a Baimon to like a Haremon.
Hmm.
Abraham gets into Tenpai, reaches, waiting on the Rihanna, but then like they
It
see
looks very
four
dead.
out, like
You see
five out
five, yeah.
already. Um,
Ekusok in danger there.
Ekusok was Tenpai under Sha Tonki, and they switched. Didn't want to cut the Tuso on the Apatsu, so now they're Tonki waiting in Tuso, but there is still two left.
It's
It's
not
not bad.
terrible. Ah, I
Oh,
lost my D's.
lost my ID
Oh.
during the three surge. They just cannot get a break. Um,
She needs to draw something, man. There's no way you ever fold this hand.
yeah, but it's gonna get cut. Like all like the four so's are kind of like so many of the four so's are cut. So many like
Yeah,
the two
yeah.
so's are cut. Like it's gonna be really hard to connect that three so.
So she needs. Oh no, 8-pin.
Eight pin
Okay.
for now. It's just delaying the inevitable though. Oh, I guess no. She she can cut the 5 mon now because it is Genbutsu.
Yeah.
Um,
Juso drawn by Chiral is tucked away for Alka 5, so it could be a swap here for Ekusok. Tuso is one chance.
yeah, they so one so was Suji.
One so was Genbutsu.
Oh, Genbutsu actually. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Chiral folds. He's out.
Chiral folds. Lost My D survives.
Survived. Yeah.
But I
That,
don't know if it couldn't
who knows
convert
what
the
the Ura
Paimon.
is? Because that could have been like an expensive hand if
Yeah.
it hit Ura. But yeah, it's a shame when you can't capitalize on your Dora 7 hand. But
Yeah.
if you're
But
gonna
yeah.
deal it anyway, you may as well just bite the bullet and pay the no temp payments.
Yeah. So we go again. This hand by Abraham. It's a bit similar to the last one. The blocks are, pretty well set here.
Still a few like
There's a
tough
couple.
shapes.
There's a couple questions. This could be a Chanta. This could be
I was gonna say
sorry,
like
Junchan rather. But
Junchan, yeah. But it's a tough commit to Junchan because you give up like Dora acceptance and your Akka 5.
yes,
So...
I would hate to be in that position to do
And
that.
you don't even have it confirmed. Like if you draw the 6 pin, you're just like really annoyed.
Yep. Some good hands around the table here. Though Kyrill's hand's quick. Ekusok's hand is quick.
Yeah. What's my D isn't too bad, but just doesn't
Not too bad,
as
but no
good
value.
as yeah. It's not as good as like Ekusok or Kyrill's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like Chiral cut that 8 pin early, so they does mean like it kind of limits.
I think they're
What?
looking
Oh,
here.
wait. Oh, okay. Oh no, the backfire on the 1 pin. I think they kept it to try and see if they could get the 1-2-3 Sanshoku,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's so
I think this is what
sad.
I did. The 1-2-3 Sanshoku, the North pair, and then something in the Binzu. So the eight pins felt unnecessary early.
Yeah. It's normal,
But yeah, a couple interesting hands here. Ekusok's hand is potential to be interesting.
yeah.
I mean,
will they
yeah.
can they pawn?
You could open this, or you can obviously go for the nuts, or you can just sort of confirm like a Hanitsu, or got a lot of choices. Drawing none of them.
Yeah. What where would their decision point be? I guess like the first kind of call they'd have to make.
Ekusok won the first game, so not too pressed for points, just hoping to avoid a heavy forfeit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like this hand has a lot of decisions, a lot of ways it can go.
Yeah, still not quite getting it. I think, like, with, like, Dora 3 in your hand, I think you just take whatever you can get, like, you're closer to Tenpai, but they're not getting anything.
Yeah, they've had nothing. They've not had nothing to call. They've drawn nothing. There's nothing from Abraham.
Oh,
He's the
Chiral.
first choice here.
We've talked about this. You keep your headless, Ishanten. Alright, Tenpai for Ekusok, waiting on the,
So
We'll have
this
to
will
cut
be the
Dora, though.
this will be the question. So you can cut Dora to take Tenpai. You can cut the 4 pins. Does take the Tenpai here.
Let's take the Tenpai. There's only... What's the delay? Once you've called Ricci, there's only one thing you can cut with
It's
that
like,
handshake.
do I want to cut the double Dora? They'll never believe I have a Sozo and Tenpai here for
Tempo
Hyrule.
for Karo, waiting on Tuso. It is Genbutsu,
Genbutsu.
but they're all in. Oh, they might be. Abraham will
They
cut
will
the
come.
cut it. Yeah, snipes the win.
Pay no me. And Ekusok, again, I'm always drawn back to that Washizu image of him throwing the tiles after the Yakuma was
It's
denied.
not a Yaku. It's not a Yakuma.
But you see someone run this pain on me. uh, okay, so we go here. East 2, Ekusok's first dealership. Again, not too much pressure for them to score highly. You just want to avoid a big loss with someone else. A couple other people having pretty decent wins here.
Yeah, but they won't want Kyril coming first.
No.
They definitely don't want that.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Yeah, you do have to pay attention. You can't just turn off for the Hanchan. And Kyril is a good player. Streams Mahjong, streams their own commentary as well. Quite often commentating Ginger Cup on Mozart.
Yeah.
So definitely has the capability to threaten Ekusok.
So they've opened up here, forcing, I guess, still could be Tanyao, could be Chinitsu or Honitsu if they pair up their honors.
Yeah, I think the send will be Honitsu at minimum, but yeah, as you mentioned, it can go Tanya if things go.
Yeah, still has a chance to switch to Tanyao. Here's the decision point. They probably just go for Honetsu since it's going to be more expensive. But they are at risk, I think. They call of Abraham's Junchan. So they Ishant have a Junchan already.
Yeah.
Junchan are 1, but dealer gets to Tenpai first, waiting on the 4-7 pin. All swallowed up in lost my ID's hand almost.
Yeah, 2 left in the
Three
wall
left.
only.
Yeah. Oh. So Cairo keeps drawing these like middle Pinzu tiles, which is definitely not safe.
Yeah, we'll have to probably back out here. East is 1 cut, 2 mine is Gambutsu.
Yeah, 2 miles Gimbits to Dora.
Dora here for Abraham. This is gonna at least slow down his hand.
7 1 was safe, but actually, can they go Sancho Kodoko?
It's a little far, isn't it?
A little far.
It's open though. You're right.
It's not dead, I think.
No, it's not. 100%, it's not.
Oh, Cairo keeps drawing these like 5. 7 miles safe. Did earlier.
You Shanten for Cairo here. It did end up going Tanya, but 2 Aka.
Yeah, when you have 2 Aka, it's worth as much as a Honitsu. So,
9 pin.
9 pin. If that gets cut, it doesn't get cut. But they get Tenpai anyway. They just Ricci?
Cutting Dora.
If you have to cut Dora, you might as well go for like the best value.
So
Cairo, if he relies on the Suji, 9 pin could just come out right now.
I hope not. You've got
That's
not
it.
a lot
That's all you got.
Choices. 8 pin.
8 pin. Decides just to cut the 8 pin, but 9 pin will come out. 9 pin's coming out.
1 pin's also.
Or 1 pin will come out first. Ooh, scary discard. Oh no, 9 pin comes out now.
Because of this, 6 pin. That's doom.
That's
South can come.
South first.
Yeah,
South
yeah.
first. Oh,
Saved.
Cairo gets saved. Kind of. He'll still win.
Yeah, it's still a win for Ekusok if it was dealer, but 9-pin would have been
9-pin
painful.
would have been like Rishi, Junshan, Dora. At least a Mongun. If they hit Ura, it's like a Hanemon. But yeah, that's a win for Ekusok. Puts him into the first.
Yep, that's again Ekusok comfortable here with pretty much anything other than like a big fourth. Pretty much, not necessarily, but
Yeah,
pretty much.
they could play like boring and just like
No,
play
I,
super
I
defensively.
think you still come out, you play for fun, you don't ruin it for the other guys. You know,
No, well you play seriously in that like they with like it's not like easy now, but they definitely don't need if they have a choice between like pushing
the
or
pressure's a little bit
folding.
lifted.
Yeah, they can choose to play more passively.
Yep.
Or you can just get your own chanter that they cut the four so pair. That's like uh, I want chanter or Junchan even. Um,
This is look at these
it's
discards.
it's. I mean, okay, like it's it's a safe path, right?
Yeah,
Because if people do like Ricci,
you've got
you
all
can
these
just
nice
cut like your
terminals.
safe honors. Like I
Yeah,
think that they're pretty safe.
yeah.
Like right now, like you have the Hatsu which you can cut. Of course, the Tusa gets drawn immediately. Um,
You shan't anyway.
Hatsu and the Haku, so that is Shanten. Um, uh,
We'll never see.
yeah.
9-pin was definitely being drawn next. Richie Nomi for Chiral here.
I think Abraham probably just not enough like live sushi to like hard fold.
No, not quite.
Not enough like I guess danger from Chiral, and it was like a correct read. They just had Richie Nomi.
Yep.
Otherwise, lost my ID. Starts with a strong dealer hand. Not quite Ishan 10. Probably hoping to shift to Tanyao.
Yeah, 6-man here would be very nice.
6-man would be good.
Got a couple choices here.
Oh,
I don't hate
this is
this.
such a good chance now, and I think yeah, to try and keep that, they kind of like
Yeah,
lower
yeah.
the acceptance in their hand, I guess, is you'd say, but it allows them to.
Yeah, Lost My ID does need decent points in the Sanchan, so
Yeah.
bless your head, but you lose your Sanshoku.
Um. Okay, yeah, you just take the Pinfu, Tiny Out Pinfu. Well, not guaranteed Tiny Out, but the better shapes.
A lot of 9-mans, still 3 9-mans left in the wall compared to 2 6-mans. We can still find the Peiko.
In the meantime, Abraham is also Isha 10 for their own Richie Pinfu. Ekusok.
No!
Oh, oh, of course, of course.
Painful.
Yeah, Ekusok with their Haku pair. Haven't had a chance to call it yet, but otherwise, if they do, it will speed up their hand tremendously.
Chiral with
Chiral,
Tudora.
Tudora, Ishan 10. They can draw the 7-man to get their nice Ryaman shape, but otherwise.
Richie from Abraham on a Richie Pinfu only.
Yes. Oh, but they
Richie
but
Patsumo
also in
Pinfu.
Patsumo, you mean?
Ura is Mangan.
So the
No,
no,
Mangan.
not quite. Though, because of the foo, let's get rounded down.
Yeah,
But yeah, there was like only 2 weights left, and they just like no, 1 late weight left, and they just ripped it out of the wall near Patsu.
That is what they call flow.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So East 4, we have Chiral with a lot of Pinzu. We have Lost My Deal with a lot of Manzu. We have Abraham with a lot of honors.
Well, I imagine a lot of those honors get cut, and I don't know if Chiral would cut a full Mentsu to confirm like a Chinitsu.
Yeah, if you draw one pin, one pin, one pin. You do. Unfortunately, we see two of them, so that's
Okay,
not happening.
that's
Uh,
fair.
but yes, otherwise he's Tenpai for lost my ID. So not chasing this Hanitsu, you completed the Pinfu Yanmen. This is the
Nah, yeah, but it's
Richidora
Richidora
one.
one. Yeah, waiting on the 4 man, 5 man. We see all the 4 mans. We see one of the 5 mans. Only the Aka 5 man
Yeah, that's
left.
the only one you need. Rich Sumo Aka Dora on a Shabo weight is manga
Richie Sumo Dora
on 4 man,
is like
five
what, like
man.
1K, 2K. Oh no, sorry, but of course the Aka.
The
Of course the
Aka, yes, I
Aka.
said Richie Sumo Dora Aka on a 4 man, 5 man Shabo is
Yeah, well, it would be Mangan with the Mangan rounding, but they hit the era just to
yeah, just to guarantee it.
just guarantee it.
Right, we got a game on our hands. We have a
Yeah.
Tompu match for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
Abraham with the second dealership. This hand is bad.
It's
It's workable, but
it's not good. It's not good. Like if you get some really nice important calls, it could work. But that speeds up the hand a lot.
yes. So
Um,
Hatsupe helps here. Carol opening with the west might be eyeing off
must
Hanitsu,
be
I imagine.
Honitsu.
Yeah.
Honitsu only at the moment. If they
Hanitsu
pair up a
backdoor Haku.
Yakuhai,
Yeah. No four.
yeah.
Um,
If they pair up any of their Yakuhai, they could hopefully get that. Otherwise, it'll still be Aka 5 man, or maybe a Toy if you're really lucky.
yeah, if you squint, you can find a toy here. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, cutting the 1-2 pin Penchan here. This will be pretty much guaranteed Hanitsu at this point or bust.
Oh, you'd have to, yeah. Or else what? Go for Chunta.
Yeah.
The Yakuhai.
The saddest Chanta. You have to cut this Manzu
Chunta
Yanmen.
is Chunta is worth 1 Han. Honitsu is worth 2 Han.
Yeah.
Speaking of, well, okay, so I was gonna say like Will lost my ID, like transition to like an outside kind of looking hand. They had the option.
Looks like
They cut the 9 man, which killed Sanshoku Doko chance and Shinroto chance. So I don't know how I feel about that decision.
Come on, what are you doing, Jime? I imagine this might be a Chitoi hedge,
Oh,
but doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
The
Abraham
Hatsu
got the
came.
Tenpai on the Hatsu,
Yeah.
waiting on the Dora for Tissimo.
So that hand, which was bad, yeah, the Hatsu pair up early helped him out. He called, got an Arazuka and the Hatsu, which came pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, with those kinds of hand shapes, you just have to kind of call what you can to speed it up.
Yes. Is rewarded with a better high pie hand this time?
Bit better. But like the other players are also very fast this time.
Yes, Chun pair for Kairo, Haku pair for Ekusak, and Jime lost my D just has some nice shapes here.
Yeah. I think like Carl getting some really good draws one after the other. Still, if they open, this hand is still a little bit on the cheap side, but still have
So it should
like,
be.
we'll have like a bit of trouble accepting that Dora 9 man, I think.
Yes, this is the real issue for Carol's hand here. The Dora 9-man is just very isolated.
Yeah.
Even the Aka 5-man here can potentially be lost.
Yeah, we'll probably connect to the 3 man, but
Most, yeah, like depending on how things go, if you take the earlier Tenpai, you could lose it theoretically, but not necessarily, you know.
no, I think that 5 man will stay in their hand. It's more like the 9 man. I think they can't unless they connect it up soon, like before they get a chance to complete the 1-3 pin, which is actually really tough to complete since we see 3 of the 2 pins now. But otherwise, at the other hand,
Lost my D's Ishanten.
yes,
Was hedging a 7-8 Nanshan Shoku, but did end up cutting this 9-8 Penchan.
yeah, I think they saw like 1 7 pin cut, and it's like it's just if you can pick like another shape, it's better. Couldn't chi the 7 man because they wouldn't have a Yaku.
Yeah. Ekisak going Honitsu, cutting
Going
this
Honitsu.
6-7 man is immediately punished
Yeah.
for it. Abraham as well, Shanten.
They had a chance to go back a bit.
Mm,
No, like Abraham still needs to find their pair, I think.
yes, currently headless.
Yeah, so there's still two Shanten, but I think all the other players will kind of be stuck, I think. Well, except for maybe Ekusok, who is advancing their Honitsu.
Still waiting for Haku, none drawn yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are Ishanten for a Cheetoy. Um, so if they get that first, I imagine they'll take it. I think this is a more of a Cheetoy hedge. You lose acceptance on the 7-pin, which at the Pine there were two left. Now there's one left. Or zero left
Hmm.
in our perspective. Um, Chiral cuts the Akka 5 though?
Yeah, I
But
think.
I guess it was. It's. Is it? I don't know if it was like 100% safe. They cut the 5 so earlier, but there was Tadashi's in the meantime.
You're just assuming, I think, if it wasn't called, then it wasn't going to be called again. There's a Haku for Akusak. Can't.
But why?
Might as well.
Still, like
Yeah.
it would still be more efficient to cut the 4 so right?
Yeah, I think so. But I think you kind of just autopilot it. You thought, oh, another 5, so toss it. I think
Well,
that
isn't
might have been
the
what
first
happened.
5 so was the cut was like not
Double re
correct.
chance, no double re.
Double Richie.
Right, that's a double reachy chance on like the 8. So, yeah.
Uh
Oh, no, it's not quite. Not quite. Not quite.
no, yeah, it was the double Richie chance if they got any of the they completed like if they drew 1 so or 4 so a 4-pin
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
or 6 so. Huh? Oh, okay, just
Cheetoy.
Cheetoy, yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. But then what about the Real Paker?
Little far, but yeah. I would like to believe. Speaking of
Yeah.
believing,
Oh,
Abraham's hand is good too. Richie for the Cheetoy. Cheetoy only. Richie Cheetoy.
Richie Cheetoy.
1 pin's 1 left. And that's a
One
pair for
pin.
Ekusok.
They have a pair at Ekusok. I wonder. Oh, I think they cut the other honors first before
Yeah.
they cut the 1 pin.
Yeah, the Ekusok here has choices and doesn't need to push.
Yeah, I do wonder if like if the ton was offered, if they would just like call it because it is Dora, the ton.
It's Dora, but it doesn't give you 2 safe tiles. Now with a second Richie, yeah, we're done. And Abraham's a bit
We'll
better here.
see.
691.
We'll see. Like Ekusok, like that 2-man was not safe against Abraham. I think, right?
No. That's the
That
last 1 pin.
Abraham
Abraham's weight was 7 in the wall.
Punky is better. Why aren't you waiting on Tunky?
Ay, ay, ay. This game
It's
is
like
disgusting.
still such a close game, but it's like I don't know if that's what like Chiral and
No.
Lost My ID want because they want big like
No. This has
differentials.
been a great game to watch for a spectator's sort of point of view as a one-off, but it's not great for, yeah, Lost My D's Kyle, as you said. They needed some big wins and big hands, and ideally you want Ekusok to lose a lot of points because it just brings
Yeah,
the margin
or
down
at
a bit.
least if you ignore Ekusok, like Abraham to take like a big loss, which they're currently fourth, but
It's not
it's
much of a fourth.
not really. Yeah.
Abraham can still win this Hanjan with just one decent win.
Yeah. Not even like a big hand, right?
Yeah.
Just like a 3 Han 40 is enough.
hmm
Um,
So I think this
Lost
might
my
be.
ID. We'll have to like fight to keep her dealership. I was wondering if she would just go Atazuke on the Nans, just to speed up her hand against like all these open hands. Like Kairo's already Tenpai or just like Haku, but
Yeah, I think I lost my ID. Just keeping the point situation in mind is trying to get more, but yeah, with the calls that you
Well,
said, I think you do want to open.
well, even
You
like your
need to
dealer, you
defend the
just have to
dealership.
keep your dealership. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
just. It's okay. They pass the last west.
So I
It
imagine we'll see
must.
the West
It
come
has
next
to be
then.
like a. It has to be their pair then, or they cut both. Um. Yeah, here they cut both. Still waiting on the Souths to come. Abraham gets Cheetoyish on 10 with Doris 2.
Yeah, if
Ekusok was Atazuke on their north, which they get. Or
Carl swapped.
Chiral switches their weight to a rearmament and it gets immediately rewarded.
Yeah, there was a lot of very quick tempos there, and then Carl swapped
Yeah,
and
so
lost my
this is
IDs.
really bad for Lost My ID, I think. Like
Yeah, so lost my ID needs a big win in this hand.
I think they need if they get a direct hit off Abraham, it might be okay,
Lost my
but
ID
probably
was
not.
minus 56.
They come. It's because if they come first, that's what like plus 30.
Plus 30. So right now, if you say like take Abraham for 8k, right?
Yeah,
Puts you to 32, which is plus 6, plus 30 will put you to like minus 20. Oh, sorry, minus 10 ish.
minus 10. And what was Chiral? Chiral
Chiral
was
was minus 27.
27, so they can't really come.
And
They
Abraham
can't
was
really
only
come. They have to take like lose a few more points, I think.
Abraham was only 17, so he
Yeah,
needs to
so if
get.
they took a fourth, you
Mm,
could overtake them. But at this point, I think even if you got a direct Mungon off Chiral, sorry, off Abraham, Chiral might be ahead of you with this score.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, like she can't just sumo because Abraham won't be fourth. So if
Hmm.
Abraham like reaches and puts themselves below Ekusok, and then Lost My ID gets a good reachy, maybe? Yeah, Takan.
You have to Kanye. Don't think about Rinchan. This
Or
hand
is
has
she like trying to like wait for
uh,
Tenpai
the
first? But
Rinchan chance. I don't think you want to. I think you want to Richie this.
well, because you want to reachy before you win.
Yeah, you want to Richie, so I don't think you can risk the.
So you yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh
reveals Forso. This is now my Echosock's hand, a little bit more awkward.
um
This is so superfluous rearmament here.
yeah, they have like a extra shape, so it'll keep the one that accepts Dora, which is the 3 man. Still one left in the wall. Chiral going forward with Tanyao. Abraham also doing the same. Ishan 10 for Abraham, but Chiral's still a little bit behind.
Yeah, Abraham just wants to win. It's probably going to guarantee you top two. Kyle just wants to win to continue the dealership here.
Yeah, with this hand, they would actually 2k. Yeah, 2k would put them into second, which would guarantee them to let them go through.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Lost My Deed needs to keep this sort of point situation. That's Tempai.
Tenpai, is it enough? They need a direct hit.
This is
Uh,
Tempai for
um,
Haku only, maybe Dora.
oh, it's not enough.
She
And
passed
so
that?
now, is that enough now?
She
So
passed.
like they couldn't like that direct hit off Abraham. I don't think would have been enough. Like it doesn't get them into. Actually, would it get into first?
And why didn't you reach you?
Well, then Abraham wouldn't have cut it. Maybe I don't know.
These three calls. It's
Uh,
Dora, I guess, but like, what are you gonna do as Abraham? You're gonna fold and Prage? Oh,
all right,
you
and I have
got
to
Aura
hope for like
chance.
if they like
Manga
I
and
don't think
manga.
it's enough.
It's gonna be
It comes.
very
It's not for
close.
first, but because Abraham didn't come fourth and Ekusok fourth wasn't that big, it won't be enough. I think that still leaves him in fourth on the table.
All right, the other game is done and has been for 5 minutes, so we can't even jump in and have a look here. But
You
I
can look
will
at the
open
scores.
it up here.
Yeah, I think Gemma didn't reach you like immediately for the Sanshoku,
Mm.
but like once the Dora gets ponned, it's like it's tough. Oh,
So she says here in Discord, messed up the calculations and thought she had Sanshoku for some reason. So a bit of a misplay for
yeah,
my
it's a
ID.
tough like yeah, it's a really tough like score situation because you
Yeah,
needed
it's very, very tough.
because like even if you get like direct hits, like other players have also like gained some points, so it still might not be enough. Like we were discussing like even if she got a direct hit off Abraham with Kyrill's score, I feel like Kyrill was still slightly ahead. But if
Mm.
you let Kyrill like deal a Renchan, then
There'll
that's
be
even
more
worse because
options.
then Kyrill you also need to like overtake Kyrill as well
Yeah.
as like sync the
It,
other players.
yeah, it does
So
give you that choice, that flexibility to like, okay, this hand wasn't good enough, I can try again next hand. But yeah, with Kyro Renchanting, it's a bit awkward. Ideally, you want like a Rikoku, but that's obviously probably not going to happen with that hand with all the calls. Uh,
it
but
helps
yeah,
a bit.
it
It
does help
doesn't
a
really
bit.
change the positions that much though.
No, but it does give you the second chance to maybe build a better hand. Like if that's what you wanted to go for.
Yeah,
I think Gemma is unfortunately not playing the hand to the best of her
yeah.
ability, which
No,
happens.
it's just the maths, I think. I think
Yeah.
for Gemma, like a lot of times it's just you just get stuck with the dealing tile.
So with this game here, with a set first, Chewy second, Otherwise Alf third, and Ewan fourth. Ewan was
Ooh.
fourth in the first Anchan, so that scratches them out. A set, one after getting a third. Chewy got second again after a second. Otherwise Alf got a third after a first.
But it's a pretty minor third, so I think
Yeah.
Unwise Hour is fairly safe. Chewy would have gained 10 points total, and the set also gained is plus 17. I guess that means the set gets in.
And
Okay.
here is the scores.
Both Richie fingers get in. Bloody
Yeah,
hell.
they had a very strong tournament, so they're clearly playing at quite a high level right now, managing
Actually,
to squeeze in. Yeah, as you said.
which team was Ekusok part of again?
Ekusok
Wasn't
was part of, I believe,
it wasn't
Shanpon.
okay? It wasn't also like Ishirichi
No,
fingers
no,
or
no, no.
something. No, Frisky was Ishirichi. Yeah. So
But yeah,
unfortunately, we say goodbye to both our UK players.
well played. At least you know you make it to the semis, and well played to
Yeah,
even make it to the All Stars. Like,
yeah.
tats
Good.
off.
The important thing was you made SPT sweat having to think about shipping.
Yeah. So yeah, going
That's a
through
win in my book.
a set on Mazel, Abraham, Ekusok to the finals, which will be played next week. I'm assuming that will also be a 2 Hanchan night.
Is it?
I assume so.
Okay.
He tried to knock us out by seating us together. Look, you guys played well. Obviously, it's enough to get through. Again, I mean, as I just said, you guys have been playing lights out all year so far, so you deserve it.
We'll be checking. We'll be checking the logs for signs of collusion.
Yeah, I'm actually
Um.
I'm actually in SPT's DMs right now. We're gonna go through this with a bloody
Yeah.
fine paper comb.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass it through Naka and see what it says.
I'll put in the chat GPT. Alrighty. With that, we'll wrap things up here. Again, I like this one again. I want to plug the ARMA 2023 sign-ins that will be coming eventually. Check the announcements for that, and check for the census as well if you can, please. It helps us out a lot with the direction that we'll be taking ARMA moving forwards.
If you want, if you want Armor T-shirts, you
Yeah,
know where to go to ask for those.
we're looking into things like merch. We're looking into things like potential like competitive leagues. There's a lot of different things, and the census is gathering information and all of that. So please give it a look.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
heard if you
and the IRMC as well. We'll be doing games for that soon as well.
yes. We've already got some complaints from the other players
Yeah,
about Itchy Richie Fingers collusion. So stay
exactly.
tuned for a for a statement.
We'll be getting that. What's that government thing that they put up recently for checking for what's it called?
Fraud.
Fraud. Yeah. Whatever that department is, I forget the name of it off the top of my head. Alrighty.
Corruption.
Yeah, the anti-corruption agency. Yeah, we'll put them on the case. They brought down Gladys. They'll bring down Ichiruchi Fingers for sure. Alrighty. And enough of that. We'll wrap things up here. Thank you, Jaffa, for joining me again.
No worries.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Thanks everyone for joining and playing. Hope everyone has a good rest of your time zone.
See ya.
Alrighty, bye bye.